Okay, so this video is for anatomy, chapter 10, part 4. The motor unit. So think of a unit as a group of that works together, right, to perform a specific task. That's a unit. And when they're told to do something, they all do it together as a team. So the motor unit is specifically one motor neuron, so from the nervous system, that innervates or activates a group of muscle cells. Okay, they're in a unit together. One motor neuron with the muscle cells or the muscle fibers that it touches are in a motor unit. Motor units can either be high precision or low precision. High precision, they have a few motor units, 2 to 20 per motor neuron, or I should say a few motor fibers, muscle cells, okay? So the less muscle fibers equals more precise movement, okay? These are found, for example, in the muscles, the extraocular muscles around the eye, responsible for eye movement, the quick eye movement. It needs to be precise. Also laryngeal, so voice, your larynx. Low precision, still only one motor neuron, but many more muscle fibers. Thigh muscles have from 2,000 to 3,000 muscle fibers per only one motor neuron. Lower precision. Here's a picture. The green represents dye of a neuron, and these are the extensions of that neuron where it touches a muscle fiber here, 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 here. Okay. When that neuron tells that group of muscle cells to contract, they will all contract in that unit. Here's a picture of, here's the eye, and then the extraocular muscles are the muscles just around the eye. Okay, here we see the inferior rectus, and the back here's the optic nerve. So the message is coming in here. And this is an example of a high precision motor unit. Only 1 to 4 muscle fibers per neuron. A principle that's associated with motor units is called all or none. Okay. So when those group of muscle fibers are activated or stimulated by this motor neuron, so the action potential is sent over here. It spreads across the surface of the muscle cells, like we talked about, and it depolarizes along the surface of the cell membrane. Okay, and now the action potential is over here. It must contract to its full force. Okay, once it's activated, all. Okay, it can't partially contract. Okay. And also, like I said earlier, when it's activated, the motor unit has to all contract at the same time. Okay, it can't like only activate 4 in a motor unit. It has to all of them contract at the same time. There's a difference in way muscle fibers can look color-wise underneath a microscope and in the body. Kind of like how chicken. You can either have dark meat or white meat in chicken. Same with our human body. The muscle fibers can be different colors depending on what it's made up of. So red muscle fibers, analogous to the dark meat in chicken, they have a high myoglobin content, a protein within it. They also have more mitochondria, so more active muscles, more energy stores, and a greater blood supply. So that richer, darker color. White muscle fibers, like the white meat in chicken, doesn't have as much myoglobin, doesn't have as much mitochondria, and not as rich blood supply, which makes sense based on the color. So those are the color differences. Here we can have red or white. It also can be split into these 3 groups: oxidative fibers, slow oxidative fibers, abbreviated SO, oxidative glycolytic, fast oxidative glycolytic, or FOG, and fast glycolytic fibers, FG. Okay. If you think back to biology, learning about cellular respiration, okay, so essentially how our cells are able to produce ATP. Um, Glycolysis is the first step of that, and it doesn't require oxygen, so it's anaerobic. It's called glycolysis, so you can think of glycolytic. Doesn't require oxygen. And then oxidation, that requires oxygen, oxidative, okay? So slow oxidative fibers, SO, are small, dark red, least powerful type, and they are fatigue resistant. So you think of aerobic activity when you think of slow oxidative fibers. You're going to use these fibers in your muscles for endurance. They don't fatigue easily, they don't get tired very easily, but they don't go as fast. They don't work as quickly. The in-betweener type is the FOG, the fast oxidative glycolytic. They are also dark red. They are moderately resistant to fatigue. These are like muscles that you use for walking, okay? You can continue to walk for quite a long period of time without getting tired because the muscles, a lot of the fibers within the muscles are fast oxidative glycolytic. And the last group, the fast glycolytic, is your anaerobic, not requiring a lot of oxygen, and they are white, powerful, can generate powerful contractions quickly in a short period of time. So these are muscles that you're going to use for short bursts of energy, sprinting or lifting weights. And this just is underneath the microscope of a transverse section showing the 3 different types of muscles. So here we have slow oxidative. We can see it's the darkest. And then here's a fast oxidative glycolytic, like pink color, and then the white is definitely the fast glycolytic. So in a chicken, the legs, right, the wings are dark meat because they're constantly working. At least the wings. But in our body, most of our muscles aren't just one of the 3 types, okay, of colors. They are a mixture of all 3 types of the fibers. So the slow oxidative, the fast glycolytic oxidative, and the fast glycolytic. They're a mixture of them. And about half the fibers are slow oxidative, resistant to fatigue. But it's also important to note, remember, talking about the motor unit, one motor neuron with the fibers within it. Within that unit, they're all the same type. So they're all within a unit either fast glycolytic or slow oxidative, okay? They're not different types of fibers within a unit. Also, a cool thing about muscle fibers and the motor units, they are recruited in a specific order. So fast glycolytic or slow oxidative or fast oxidative glycolytic can be recruited to help in an activity depending on what kind of activity is needed to produce work. So they can be recruited at different times. Fast activities, like I said, sprinting, obviously we're going to recruit muscles that are fast glycolytic first. All right. Talking about muscle tension or the contraction of a muscle, there is a graph that also goes with that. We were to put up electrodes on your muscles and we could graph the tension produced by your muscles. Before the muscle actually starts contracting, actually when it's receiving that message from the neuron, it's called the latent period. The action potential is sweeping over the surface of the cell membrane, and the calcium ions are being released to go to grab onto the actin, remember. And then starts the contraction phase, followed by a relaxation phase, and then temporary loss of all excitability called the refractory period. And during the refractory period, a muscle cannot respond to another stimulus from the nervous system. So this is called a muscle twitch. One contraction of a single muscle fiber is called a muscle twitch. And this is graphically represented. Time in milliseconds on the x-axis and the force of contraction. It does look similar to our other graph, but notice that it's a different y-axis label. It's a force of contraction, okay? The latent, on our other graph, it was millivolts, okay, electrical activity. So here we have the force of a contraction, latent period, contraction period, relaxation, followed by the refractory. Down here in the black, it can respond to another message from the nervous system to contract again. And this is over a brief millisecond of time. So quick. Okay, so to produce useful work, your muscles need to receive more than just one action potential or more than just one muscle twitch. Needs to be produced to produce actual sustained work, useful work. So that is achieved by multiple action potentials being received and your muscle gradually plateauing at the force of contraction up here. So this just shows a single twitch, what it looks like. So here's the message received from the nervous system, and here's that muscle working. So it's a little bit of a delay. Remember, this is milliseconds though. Here is a few action potentials, so messages coming from the brain, and we see something called summation. Essentially, the force of contraction, they're adding together, they're summing to produce a larger force of contraction. And then here is unfused tetanus, so essentially we're still getting a rest period in the muscles, okay? Then you can see the force is getting stronger. Fused tetanus is essentially when the muscle is not allowed to relax at all. That's why it plateaus here during that time. All right, so this is still about tension. This is showing, this is a cross-section of your spinal cord. It looks like a butterfly, right? In green, we see one motor unit, so coming from the spinal cord, attaching to multiple muscle fibers. In the purple, we see another motor unit, okay? This is an example of recruitment, okay? Maybe the green muscle fiber or the motor unit is recruited first to a particular activity. You're doing a wall sit, okay? So at first, only a few muscle motor groups or motor units are activated, but eventually you're going to need more help for that activity, that contraction, okay? So they can be recruited at different times. And they actually can even take turns working, different motor units, okay? We'll take it now. Okay, now your turn. Now your turn. Now your turn. So there is a period of relaxation, even though it doesn't look like this here. Different motor units will be at different be at the plateau at different times, so that you can continue to produce useful work in a sustained manner. Okay, we're gonna watch this video in class together. So I just want to skip over that. It's a great video. So if you want to go back and watch it a few times before the exam, I highly recommend that. So muscle contraction, again, talking about muscle movement. Oh. Okay, contractions can either be isotonic or isometric. Those are the two general types. Tonic produces a change, or it's on the muscle moves, okay? It either gets shorter or it gets longer, okay? Shorter or longer, okay? And the biceps right here. Can't see it very well. So and then isotonic can be split into a few different types. Concentric is when the muscle shortens while it generates force, okay? So shortening in length would be like flexion right here. Eccentric is the lengthening. The muscle's actually lengthening right here, but if I'm still holding a weight or something or a book, it's still contracting, okay? Another example of a contraction is isometric. When the muscle itself is actually not moving, it's not getting shorter, it's not getting longer, but it's still working. An example would be a wall sit. Or if I got up right now and pushed my hands against the wall, trying to move the wall, of course, I would not be moving anything, including my muscles, but guarantee it would be a workout. My muscles would be contracting during that period of time, but the force and the resistance are equal, so that's why there's no movement. This is a great image that goes over concentric contraction, eccentric, and then